Hi, it's Mike from Phase 1 DJ Store. Product to show you today. A lot of talk about this product. I've got Rob up from Pioneer, and he has brought with us the Xdj. What's it called again?
Xdj R1.
Alright, okay. Should we cut that out or should we leave it in? I'll just leave it in. We'll just leave it in. Right. In this video, what we're going to do is we are going to take it through to the back warehouse because the shop's open today, and we're going to have an in-depth step-by-step of what this thing does. I've had a quick run through with it, Rob, already. It's just completely different. Loads and loads of new features. So, anyhow, let's chat from me. Let's take it through there and see what this bad boy does.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, let's start with the connectivity on the back of the Xdj R1. So straight away, I mean, 2 units now in the Xdj range. We've got the Xdj Aero, which Mike has done a long video on, completely detailing all the features on that, so you can see that on the Phase 1 channel if you check out the videos. And now we've also got the Xdj R1, so differences between the two. I suppose this one could be deemed to be a slightly more professional unit, a bit more for professional applications. We've got a XLR out instead of the balanced jack outs that we've got on the Xdj Aero. We've got a Master 2 out as well as a booth out, so you know, integral for larger spaces, larger venues. You need to be able to monitor your booth volume separately. Then we've got the mic channel, the mic input here, auxiliary in, and then standalone mixer, 2 line-ins and phono preamps as well, so you can run CDJs, turntables, etc. into there and use it on the 2-channel mixer, which we'll go through in a moment. We've then got our USB connectivity, so direct Midi Control to Virtual DJ, which is bundled in the box, Virtual DJ LE, and of course our power source over on the far left. The holes you're seeing here, they'll become more apparent in a minute when we flip the camera around to see the front of the unit. This is for the iPhone or iPad cradle. So this unit works with the specific remote box app that's free to download, and I'm going to jump onto that and show you that in a moment. So let's turn it around. The Xdj units, the Aero and the R1, which we're looking at now, are the the most affordable and easiest way to start DJing on the Rekordbox platform. This is a multi-format player, but specifically, and probably the key feature of this, is it's Rekordbox ready. So anyone who's ever DJ'd on using Rekordbox analysed files before, up until now, or up until the relaunch of the Aero, it was limited to use with the CDJs. So downloading the free of charge Rekordbox software, you could throw your music into that software, then export it to a USB stick, take that to the club, plug it in, and you get all of the benefits of DJing from a laptop without actually having the laptop there with you, without the stress of setting it up. So this is a good alternative to a CDJ setup for the home and mobile user. Why I go for an R1 over an Aero? Well, I'll show you the features, the layout, and what's made available on here, and then I'll kind of compare it to the Aero afterwards as well. So let's start by actually getting some music in there. So we've got a 2-channel, high quality sound card built into this mixer section in the middle. So 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, high quality as you'd expect from Pioneer. USB port at the top, and that's our first point of call to plug in our USB connection. As soon as that goes in, I'm going to focus on this CDJ platter here. So we've got basically a twin CDJ setup either side of the mixer. Starting point of every CDJ is the source select, so you can see the different formats that this unit supports straight away. At the top we've got USB. When I hit that, we're now seeing our Rekordbox categories, our search categories that we've pre-assigned to appear on here in a Rekordbox software. So I always use playlists, artist, album, track name, BPM, different ways of scanning through your tracks. So if I go into playlist, I can scan through my different playlists I've created, choose a track, load it into the platter. We get a flash to let us know that that track's gone in. And there we go. Good to perform. Now, before we show you the ins and outs, I'm going to show you, the feature set of what we've got on here. I'm going to show you integration with the app. So this blanked out iPad that you're seeing sat on the cradle there, It's important to say as well, the app that I'm going to show you is Remotebox. Now, everyone's going to see my code. I have to change that. The app I'm going to show you this working with is Remotebox, and that's available on the iPhone as well. So you don't have to use it on an iPad, you can use it on your phone, but I'm using it on the iPad to show you, in great detail, show you the full scope of it, of what it can do. So the first things first, I need to jump onto the R1's Wi-Fi. So jump into my Wi-Fi settings, turn Wi-Fi on. As soon as you turn the R1 on, like the arrow, it sends out a Wi-Fi signal, but we're not streaming any music wirelessly to this like we do with the arrow. It's a secure network, so there's a password that anyone who wants to jump onto this this R1's Wi-Fi signal will have to know. I've already entered it in, so it's jumped straight onto that. It's connected instantly. And then jump back, go into our Remotebox app, and you're connected, and that's the starting point. So first of all, instead of browsing my music on this LED kind of dot matrix down here, which can be tricky if you've got a hard drive, a terabyte hard drive full of music connected to this, browsing through playlists on here can get a bit tricky. So what I'm going to do when I hit USB, instead of showing my Rekordbox playlist down here now, it says Remotebox connected. So kind of leads us on to this, in that the Remotebox is now a browsing view for the USB stick. So if I depress this selector, Remotebox flips round, and that's wirelessly connected now, but that's not the selling point. It's just a great feature, saves any additional setup when you're connecting the app to it. You literally, like I was browsing music on here, scan through the application, go to my different search categories that you're seeing, the same as we saw on the display a moment ago. Jump into my playlists, or even just go to the full tracks, every track that's loaded on there. Find something that I haven't heard a million times this week and load it in. And then you can either load into platter 1 or platter 2. I can do that from here by pressing the selector, or I can literally do it on the application. If I load track 2 to platter 2, there we go, it's loaded in. So that's the first method of using this app. One of the amazing things about this as well, if I scan back, I was doing it all from the control on here a moment ago, but I can also do it with touch, if I want to do this, or I can take this off the cradle, walk around, and actually search for tracks. So if I have got vast amounts of music stored on my USB stick or the hard drive, for mobile DJs especially, if people are requesting songs, you can come up and search. You can also connect the Bluetooth keyboard to this at the same time and actually search for tracks if you don't get on well with touchscreen technology, but on the iPads it's pretty stable. So yeah, making the mobile DJ and the home DJ's life a hell of a lot easier having this visual display to search through. So second of all, I should also mention you can play CDs using the R1 instead of just playing the ideal method to play your tracks is Rekordbox analyze files off a USB stick, because you get a lot more features. This has quantized features on here. All the effects will be quantized. Our sample bank will be quantized, which I'm going to jump onto in a minute. But you can also play on CDs. So if I take the iPad off and hold the unit up, you can see we've got, the reason for the unit being a bit bigger, we've got an optical drive on either side. So much like a Xdj 350, you can actually play from CDs as well. Bit of an old school media, but it's good to have all bases covered. So you can run external CDJs or turntables in, or use these platters as CD players or USB platters, as well as Midi Control. The last source select up on here of the 3 is Midi Control. So like I said, the R1 comes bundled with Virtual DJ LE. So if you wanted to, you could just use this as a control surface for your laptop, as well as map it to other softwares. It is just sending a MIDI signal to a computer when it's connected via USB. So you can, if you know the ins and outs of your software program. So a handy thing when you're DJing from Rekordbox is the fact that you can pre-assign and pre-store hot cues and hot loops to your tracks using the software on your laptop or the Rekordbox app on your mobile phone. And then when you connect either that USB device or your phone to the CDJ 2000, you can call them hot cues up and actually access them straight away, so you're not actually creating them on the fly. So the Xdj Aero lacks hot cue support, but the Xdj R1 features it. You can see at the bottom of both platters we've got ABC, A, B and C. So this will allow you to either create hot cues on the fly or load up ones that you've pre-assigned to tracks. So if I load in a track, this one, the two-handed jig, as soon as I load this into platter 1, you'll see A and B and C, if there's a third hot cue, completely auto load up. So load that in, we get a flash, and there we go. Hot cues good to go. For anyone who's unfamiliar with the hot cue functionality, this can be, you know, key points of a track, a breakdown, a build up, and they're hot, so it allows you to jump to them instantly. So the hot cues as well double up as your sampler trigger. So sample bank trigger on A, B and C as well. If I hit the mode button, that will switch to sample mode, and I can either now take a sample or I can trigger a sample that's previously been stored into the hardware. So if I hit A, you can see I've got these 4-beat loop samples, which will be quantized to the track that's playing. So you can pick out key vocal parts on a track, and I'm actually going to take a sample from this track. If I scan through, this was on a key vocal part. I can literally just press B. This flashes away. That's now recorded 4 beats from that track. So let's jump onto the effects sections and show you the beat effects that we've incorporated. So I'm going to punch in a loop first of all. Any DJing platform that's worth its salt has always got quantized looping nowadays. So if I jump onto the auto beat looper, I can choose a loop size. Let's punch in a 16 beat loop. This can be done on the application, which I'm going to show you in a minute as well. Let's focus on 4 effects that you're seeing here: transform, flanger, echo and roll. So we've taken 4 quantized effects directly from the DJM 900 and put them onto this unit on both platters. So we've got a transform. If we want to use this, we set a transform time using the beat pot here. So if we set it to 1 beat, turn it on, quantized transforming. Let's jump to half so it's a bit more obvious. So if I slow the track down, the effect speeds up and slows down with it. Then we've got level depth at the side. We've also got flanger, echo, post fader echo, so the delay tails will continue to bleed through, and of course famous roll effect. So roll is like a sampler effect. If I hit assign 1 beat using the beat pot, you're hearing the same beat repeated over and over again quantized. Set that to different values and you can come up with some cool stuttering sounds. And of course, anyone who's ever DJ'd on a DJM series mixer will recognise these blue lights on the mixer section over here. So we've got 4 inbuilt sound colour effects. So on the Xdj Aero, we've got 2 colour pots on either channel, which both act as a filter. But on this unit, a bit more like a DJM series mixer, and we've got a choice of 4 effects. So we have got filter. If I turn the filter on, This flashes, indicating the filter's good to go. And then whichever channel you're running audio through, in this case channel 1, you turn the colour pop. Right for high pass, left for low pass. We've also got a crush, which is filtering with low bit distortion. We've got a pitch down or pitch up, and we've got white noise, which can also be used on an independent channel because it's an oscillator. It's actually creating a sound. So yeah, you've seen the beat effects working, you've seen the colour effects working, and if you've ever seen any of the videos we've recorded down at Phase 1 before, you will have seen these working in conjunction with each other on, you know, a number of units, whether it's the Aero, the DJM 750, DJM 900. You can make the magic happen by using one of these effects in conjunction with one of these effects. And you can do the same on this, but a cool way of applying these effects now, and exclusive to this mixer as well, this unit, the Xdj R1, is using the remote box application. So at the minute, you've seen me using it to browse my USB stick and scan through that. You can also use this app in a number of different ways, all of which listed across the top. So if I jump to mixer, we can actually completely mix using the app. So everything you're hearing and everything you're controlling on here can also be controlled from the application, whether that's EQing, level, crossfader, your auxiliary level, your mic trim, your headphone control can all be done from here and easily reset just by double tapping. So you can also control a lot of, pretty much every functionality on here can be controlled from there. In fact, everything. Along with a few additional features as well. But first of all, let's jump to the effects control. So if I press effects 1, in this sideways view, you're seeing both decks. So effects bank 1 on deck 1 and effects 2, deck 2. If you turn the iPad this way, you're just going to see the 1. Making it a bit larger and easier to see. So you're seeing now an XY pad, XY axis. On the downwards axis we've got our colour effects, on the across axis we've got our beat effects. So I can simply choose filter and I can then filter the track, high pass or low pass. It doesn't matter where I go on the sidewards axis, it's not going to do anything. We're literally just getting filtering high pass and low pass. Now I can throw in an echo as well. If I turn the filter off, I can literally control the echo, and this is moving on a horizontal basis. So press hold, the effects will stay on. Press filter, I'm now controlling 2 effects, filtering and echo. So pretty cool, touch responsive control. If I jump onto the roll, put hold on. Very unique way of using the effects that we've never seen on any of our units before. It just gives you another element as well. We've also got control of the level depth. So if I put the echo on, at the minute I'm just hearing filtering. Then I can increase the level depth. I've brought the fader down on the actual hardware. Anything you actually control on the hardware as well will also correspond up on the application. So if I hit filter on the R1, you can actually see everything we're doing up on the application. That goes for all of these. Jump to pitch, crush, noise, punching an echo as well. An additional feature you get on the application, brought in and inspired from the Xdj 2000, is touch sensitive needle search across the top. So there's no hardware control to actually scan through your track like a needle search, but if I disable the loop, I can actually scan through the track to any point very easily, as well as jump back to the start or jump to the next track. So yeah, every other control on the R1 is what you'd expect to find on a CDJ setup. So, you know, same build quality, same button technology. We've also got sync control, which is one thing I didn't mention, record box sync, which will allow you to automatically line up both beat grids on both tracks and bring them in time, as most DJ systems have nowadays. We've also got the Pioneer technology master tempo, so this will stop the track from increasing in pitch when you increase the tempo. So to stop the tracks chipmunking, you know, stop the vocals getting higher pitched. With that highlighted, that will take place. We've got vinyl mode on and off, tempo range adjustment here, so you can go from +6, +10, +16, similar to CDJs. And one thing that was brought into the R1 was the ability to be able to automatically tap in your BPMs for the effects. So you can actually double time your echo delay tails, or you can hold this down and just jump back to auto. Okay, so you've seen how to use the R1, all of the features, all of the effects, all of the benefits of using this as your DJ system, apart from everything that the app has to offer. You've seen a few pages of this. You've seen the USB browse, which I'm currently doing now, as well as the effect control. If I hit the main remote box icon, this will take you back to the first page. And like I said previously, you can control everything that's available on this hardware from the app. So the most functional, in my opinion, use of this is to browse your USB device that's connected on here. The rest of it I see as a really cool additional feature set for DJs, you know, using this in bars or mobile application, or even for home use. You know, I've got one of these in the corner of my front room, and I can actually control it from the couch. So I really like that functionality. It's quite impressive. If I jump to mixer, I need to first of all jump to deck, sorry, and actually get some tracks playing. So I can get my track playing. I'm going to assign a loop, just a percussive loop running there, 16 beat loop, and you can see we can change this, 1 beat. If I change it on the hardware as well, it will actually do so. So yeah, let's get a 16 beat running, 16 beat loop running. I can also jump to hot cues or assign hot cues if I wanted to assign hot cue A, or I can trigger my samples. All from here. I can even mix, so if I jump to deck 2 on this side, I'm now mixing live. Let's kill the lows. So take this around, walk around wherever you want. You can see the mixture in greater view as well. Completely have a mix. Obviously you can't wheel the track up that you're mixing out of, but it's a great deal of functionality on here.
So there you go. Been a lot of talk about this product. Actually, now I've seen it in the flesh. Wow, is there anything this thing can't do? Does it make tea? Will it make tea? Yeah, it just about will do anything and everything. I think it's a brilliant portable little unit. We're going to have it on demo here at Phase 1 as soon as it becomes available, which is very, very shortly. If you've got any questions, get in touch. Don't forget, here at Phase 1 DJ Store, we have just about the full range of all the Pioneer DJ equipment on demo. We've got a full Nexus system on demo with the CDJs. We've got all the aero, the controllers. You know, we've got everything on demonstration in the shop, so I can't recommend enough that you come down and see us. And this is going to be on demo as well. Got to say, it's a bit special, isn't it? Let's make it phase 1. Thank you very much to Rob. And that is the Xdj R1. Cheers.